Guys, gals, and non-binary pals, welcome to the Cult of Comics, episode 1. I had to do the Dr. Evil turn here, except they didn't have a white cat. I got a white dog instead.
Yeah.
Amazing.
How you guys doing?
Not too bad.
Doing all right.
Good. Guys, I'm Tyler Brown. This is Sean Walsh. Josh, who has apparently no last name that we're aware of whatsoever. He keeps himself secret.
That's totally my title. It's right there. Right there in plain view.
It says Craven J. That's what it says. It's not. In the time that I've known you, you've only ever been Craven or Josh. That's it.
Yeah. Well, what else is there?
Apparently, you're just a mystery. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Welcome, everybody, to the Comics Podcast, episode 1. This is a continuation from a previous podcast where we all got together, found each other on Reddit, and now here we are. And in today's episode, what are we doing?
Well,
who knows, man?
Yeah.
No clue, just no scheduling whatsoever.
Nah.
Well, there's actually been quite a bit of news going on in the world. There's also been the release of WandaVision. We're going to be doing a separate episode for that, having a conversation about episodes 1, possibly 2, depends on what happens. And we're going to be covering some of the solicitations going on as well. But for now, we're just going to say hello, bid you adieu, and continue on from there. Sean.
Hello.
Sean, what's the plan of the agenda? What's first?
You can do news if you want.
You want to do news? Let's do news.
Yeah. News is your specialty.
Well, I mean, I am studying it, so I mean, I would like to think so. But first, let's talk about the news about Chris Evans. Apparently, he was or is slated to return to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Allegedly. Now, he had a response, didn't he? Where he said that this is like news to him.
Yeah, it was just news to me. Shrug.
So, I'm kind of confused here. What was the actual article? Because what I read was an IGN post that said, hey, Chris Evans is possibly coming back into the MCU. And it didn't really even say that he's going to come back as Captain America.
Yeah, I think it was a Deadline article. I think that was the origin.
Yeah, Deadline. Chris Evans is in talks to return. Will return in the part cap in at least one Marvel property.
I mean, okay. I guess I thought that he was really done with this, though. I mean, they kind of gave him a really good send-off.
Money.
I did see some people saying that it was more he had so much of his decade scheduled out for Marvel that he wanted more freedom to do other stuff. So people think that they've given him a little more freedom, like, oh, you'll have a small role in this and a small role in another movie, sort of giving a bit more freedom, not as much of a strict schedule. I mean,
that would make sense. I'm wondering if it's the same thing that they're doing with Robert Downey Jr., though, where they kind of are just going to be using their likeness and then paying them for their likeness and their acting. Because from what I understand, Robert Downey Jr. isn't coming back at all either, if I remember correct.
Was it Black Widow? They're just using old footage.
Yeah, it was apparently a deleted scene from Civil War.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so that's an interesting conversation. Does that mean that they're going to be getting paid the same rates as before if they're not even going to be on set acting and everything?
I would think because it's already been filmed for a different movie, if they're doing a flashback to that with footage they've already filmed for that movie.
There's got to be something in the contract, like if this footage gets used for future films, you get this much, or you've signed that away and you're getting paid for this already.
I mean, okay.
We've already come up with some ideas about, where he could appear.
Yeah.
Which would be what?
So I think the 3 or so that we came up with was maybe somewhere in the Spider-Man film coming out in December.
Because that needs another cast member.
Yeah, it needs one more cameo. Makes sense. There's the Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So they could jump to another Earth or timeline or something where, Cap exists. There's, maybe a surprise appearance in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, just to re-kick off, maybe they kick off right from when Cap hands off the shield. Maybe he just, comes back as old man Steve.
Okay.
Just for a quick cameo. like where would be, you know, a spot where just a little cameo would work.
Mm-hmm.
He could
that actually makes a lot of sense.
Wait, sorry, were we talking about Chris Evans or Rob Downey?
Yes.
Chris Evans.
Oh,
I'd like to see him show up in more of those like school videos from Homecoming.
Yes. The essays. One of the more interesting ones is that he could come, you know, they're merging in the X-Men and the Fantastic Four into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So some people were joking around like he could come back as Johnny Storm.
Okay, that would be really funny.
That would be so funny.
Yeah, just another maybe quick cameo. Who knows?
I would actually be okay with that. Look, I mean, I'm biased. Obviously, I love Chris Evans. I think that if he does come back and does a small role, it'll be very fun for me. I don't think they really needed to announce it though.
Yeah,
it seems like I don't know. It just seems like this is a bit of unnecessary information. It would have been better if we were surprised by it, but
someone's going to announce it. Should be them.
Yeah. That's fair.
Can't keep anything secret nowadays.
No, unfortunately. Moving on with actual comic book news, not necessarily comic book movie news. John Ridley, the Academy Award winning screenplay writer who has written the next Batman from Future State, has had his title, The Next Batman Second Son, announced, launching in April. And
I believe it's a digital first starting in March, but then the print issues start in April.
I don't know. Well, you know what? That's fine, because as long as it comes out in print, that's all that matters to me. Have you guys read Next Batman?
I have.
I didn't grab it.
It's really good. It's like surprisingly good. Like, well, not surprising because John Ridley, because I know for a fact he's a great writer. This was surprising to me because I guess I didn't expect to be as impressed with the Future State stuff as I am so far. That's just me.
Yeah, I know you're a big fan of one of those Future State books that we'll discuss later. You're a huge fan of that issue.
I want to put this out here really quick. All opinions are our own. We do not reflect any businesses, companies outside of the podcast. We are just fans. We are just fans.
I will add on to that. If you want to sponsor us and make us spread your opinions, we are open to that. Please pay us.
Give us $1.
Carrying over from the previous podcast. I love it. Hey, there's no laughing here except for me. Anyways, moving on as well, Damian Wayne ongoing has been announced, with Josh Williamson writing and Gleb Melenikov doing the artwork, also coming out in April, which is great for me because I'm a Joshua Williamson fan when it comes to some of these. Yeah. Well, Josh, you and I have been reading Birthright, so I mean we've carried
Birthright and Nailbiter.
Right.
I picked up Justice League this week.
I actually haven't read that yet, but I've heard like mixed. Is it good?
I enjoyed it.
Okay, I'm excited. Good. Because I need a good Justice League story at this point.
It's different. I only read the Joshua Williamson part. I didn't read the Ram V one yet.
I feel like
I'm fresh. Sorry, go on.
No. Please go ahead.
I was going to say the Ram V story was sort of following on from his Justice League Dark run. So I literally finished reading Justice League Dark last night and then moved straight onto the Future State story.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I feel like I need to give Ram V more chances. I'm really excited for his Swamp Thing story.
Did you read his... You hadn't read Future State Swamp Thing last time we...
No, I did. I read halfway through it the last time you and I chatted about it, but I really liked it. The Mike Perkins art on this, it fits it really well.
Yeah, it really does capture the tone really well.
I have made the decision that I actually want to start implementing Swamp Thing into my collection. And having just moved now that I'm kind of getting settled in again, and I'm not just, pulling money from savings at this point, I'm looking a little bit more into my collection. Like I just updated my Spider-Man Venom collection. I just got a first appearance Venom and then 298. So I need 299 now. So now I'm looking into some of my back issues for like Green Lantern, and I'm like, well, I really enjoy Swamp Thing, so I want to expand that a little bit, but I haven't been reading anything since that first issue of Scott Snyder's New 52 run, so I want to give some more chances for that. And I enjoyed that story, but I just never actually continued collecting it.
Yeah, I've heard good things about that, but I've just never. It's on the list, and I'm sure I'll get to it at some point in the next few decades.
Which list? You have like 5 lists.
The comic list.
Okay, so you got a movie list, a comic list.
Yeah, a TV show list.
Ex-girlfriend's list.
Yeah, future girlfriend list.
The future girlfriend list.
Yeah, the ones I've seen on Instagram, and I'm like, I'm going to marry her.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Slide into those DMs.
Slide right into those DMs, those Twitter DMs. Then for the last bit of news that we've seen so far, well, actually, I think we might have one more. Neil Kirby, who is the son of Jack Kirby.
Yes.
Thank you. Has spoken out about the use of the Captain America symbol at the attempted insurrection last Wednesday at the United States Capitol, which has been something that we're covering on our other podcast, The Political Purgatory. Nice little plug there. Let's see here. I have the article pulled up somewhere over here. This is I gotta just fill this time with air now. Here it is. All right. This is from Jake Tapper's Twitter account. In a statement to the insurrectionists, my father, Jack Kirby, along with his partner, Joe Simon, created Captain America in 1941. Perhaps the most iconic symbol of patriotism since the spirit of 1776. Captain America has stood as a symbol and protector of our democracy and the rule of law for the past 79 years. He was created by two Jewish guys from New York who hated Nazis and hated bullies. Captain America stood up for the underdog, and as the story was written, even before he gained his strength and prowess from army scientists, always stood for what was righteous and never backed down. At 72, I have a fairly vivid personal memory of every political and cultural upheaval since Castro's revolution in the mid-1950s. Add to that my father's stories, and I could probably paint a picture of the battlefields of northern France surrounding the city of Metz in World War II as well. However, the events that transpired at our nation's capital on January 6th, an insurrection inspired and fomented by our own president, will be the event that haunts me forever. While watching one of the horrific videos of the storming of the Capitol, I thought I noticed someone in a Trump/Captain America t-shirt. I was appalled and mortified. I believe I even caught a quick glance of someone with a Captain America shield. A quick Google search turned up Trump as Captain America on t-shirts, posters, even a flag. These images are disgusting and disgraceful. Captain America is the absolute antithesis of Donald Trump. Where Captain America is selfless, Trump is self-serving. Where Captain America fights for our country and democracy, Trump fights for personal power and autocracy. Where Captain America stands with the common man, Trump stands with the powerful and privileged. Where Captain America is courageous, Trump is a coward. Where Captain America and Trump couldn't be more different. My father, Jack Kirby, and Joe Simon, the creators of Captain America and World War II veterans, would be absolutely sickened by these images. These images are an insult to both their memories. If Donald Trump had the qualities and character of Captain America, the White House would be a shining symbol of truth and integrity, not a festering cesspool of lies and hypocrisy. Several of our presidents held the same values as Captain America. Donald Trump is not one of them. Neil Kirby, Jack Kirby's son. Love it.
Powerful stuff.
It is. It's a very well-written statement.
Yeah, and people trying to use Nazi symbols alongside Captain America symbols. They're opposites.
You know, maybe they're just really big fans of Secret Empire. I'm sorry, that was bad. That was a bad joke.
That's amazing. No, that was a great joke.
And for the last bit of news, I should have ended it with that, but I did want to add this. With the announcement that Oscar Isaac is going to be in Moon Knight, it has been announced.
Wait, what? Oscar Isaac's in Moon Knight?
Yeah, Oscar Isaac has been announced to play Moon Knight.
Oh God.
Oscar Isaac is going to be Moon Knight.
Blowing my mind.
That I know. Oh wait, you know what? I'm sorry. I need to report this really quick. He has just now announced that this is news to him. In other news, Oscar Isaac has been announced through his manager to play Moon Knight. Did you guys hear?
Yeah. Anything else?
It's absolutely insane.
Are there any other castings?
Yeah. I don't know if you're aware about who Oscar Isaac is, but
no,
apparently
I'm not.
He is going to play the titular character of Moon Knight.
Who?
Exactly. For those who don't know, there was some confusion going on. Yes.
On the moon.
On the moon. He goes on the moon, but he's dressed up like.
How does he breathe?
Air. Speaking of air, I'm choking now.
Good.
This is great television. This is great radio. For those who don't know, there was a little bit of an inside joke with this. Oscar Isaac was announced quite some time ago, but for some reason he, as well as Tatiana Maslany, both said, no, we haven't actually been for sure cast as these characters in the case of Moon Knight and She-Hulk. And everyone was really confused. And now it's being confirmed by the Marvel Cinematic Universe coordinators, including Kevin Feige. So now we're all just sitting here like, what's happening? I don't know really what's going on at this point. But with the announcement that Oscar Isaac has been confirmed, and we will continue to talk about this as we continue on with the podcast, Ethan Hawke has been announced as the villain to play in Moon Knight. I have no freaking idea who the villain must be.
I have
Unless
never
it's Mephisto.
Potentially, but I've never read a Moon Knight comic, so I don't know what to expect from this at all.
Yeah. There was some speculation in the article that I posted about that, and I forget anything about it.
What's
Let's have a little look.
I mean, realistically, Moon Knight's not a character that a lot of people are that familiar with. I mean,
yeah,
he's an interesting character. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he's a crazy man who's got multiple personalities that manifest themselves. I
do not know what he looks like outside of his costume.
He looks like a boring white dude.
You're both choking. Am I next?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm getting so choked up because I've waited for Oscar Isaac to be Moon Knight for forever.
Wait, Oscar Isaac's Moon Knight?
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you didn't hear? Yeah, Oscar Isaac's Moon Knight.
Oh.
This is going to be the worst ongoing joke ever.
Yeah.
So Mark Spector's history is that he fights kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Supernatural characters. Moon Knight's first appearance was in Werewolf by Night number 32 from 1975, where he fought the Werewolf by Night. There is talk about Ethan Hawke possibly playing Dracula, which would be interesting because I feel like that would fit more with Blade than with Moon Knight.
That'd be interesting to see.
Maybe they'll bring Blade in.
I mean, it's Disney, so why not? I mean,
yeah.
They've already cast...
He could play like a real grungy Dracula.
Yeah, I mean, with the way he looks now, I don't know if you've seen what he looks like these days, but he does look like the kind of guy who could play Dracula on the regular.
Yeah, he does have that sort of... Yeah, I see it.
That being said, I'm not going to over speculate here. I'm not going to encourage people to go buy certain comics because I don't know. I will say that of the Moon Knight comics that I've heard great things about, the Jeff Lemire run has received a lot of praise. And I'm actually going to check that out in preparation for the show. Was there any other news that we need to talk about?
I've got a few little bits sort of following on from the Oscar Isaac bombshell announcement. There's been rumor. There's just Ty spitting out his drink as he laughs.
Have you ever had coffee come out your nose? It's great.
Yeah, so following on from that bombshell announcement, we've had rumors of Charlie Cox returning in Spider-Man 3 as Daredevil. And more rumors have come out that he has apparently filmed his scenes already. He filmed them in December.
Really? Where did you hear that rumor?
I believe I saw it on the Reddit.
It's just all bullshit. Welcome to the Bullshit Podcast. Hello.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, accusing me of bullshit. The Oscar Isaac thing's got to be bullshit. No way would he sign on from Marvel.
Wait, what about Oscar Isaac?
Oh, what? The breaking bombshell news that he's been cast as Moon Knight.
You got to take this
when
down
the
to the river.
When the fuck was that announced?
You got to take this down to the river and drown it.
I am. I'm going to beat this
kill this joke.
It's already getting old.
Yeah.
That's okay. So am I.
Yeah, well, Kevin Feige announced early on in the week that the Netflix characters were again free to use by Disney because the contract of exclusivity had expired.
So I had heard that there was a conversation about bringing Jessica Jones over to Disney Plus as well.
Yep, I was going to mention that as well. There's rumors, nothing confirmed, but rumors that she is going to be appearing in She-Hulk.
I hope that this is true, because this is just my opinion. I'm not saying that this is a universal truth, but I'm not that big a fan of what's the name of that comic writer who was in charge of production for the Netflix films or
Jeff
shows?
Loeb.
Jeff Loeb. I'm not that big a fan of his style of production right now.
No.
Like I've read some of his comics and I've been like, okay, that's fine. Like I'm not that big a fan of the Ultimatum.
Ultimatum was a train wreck.
I really enjoyed his character that he created for Nova, though, which apparently was based off of his dead son.
Yeah, people say that there's like, before his son died, he was a good writer, and he sort of went off the rails a little bit when his son died, and his writing it really dropped in quality.
That's sad. That's a really harsh thing to.
Wasn't Perlmutter in charge of the TV shows? Ike Perlmutter?
He was.
That's not a real name.
No, he was head of the MCU early on.
That's not a real name. Come on. Ike
Perlmutter? Disney and Marvel. Yeah, Disney and Marvel want you to forget about him.
Ike Perlmutter. That's not a real name.
That is his real name.
Next thing you're going to tell me that Benedict Cumberbatch is a real name.
Yep. Benadryl cough suppressant.
I shouldn't laugh so hard about that.
Ike Perlmutter was chairman of Marvel Entertainment.
Yeah.
At one point.
He gets a lot of the hate for some of the TV shows.
I mean, I liked the first season of Daredevil. I mean, it was good. I wouldn't say. Well,
he had some hand in just sinking, not the Eternals, but the other guys.
Inhumans.
The Inhumans, yeah.
I didn't even bother with that show. I heard terrible things.
I heard it was terrible. Yeah. So in 2015, Perlmutter was removed from overseeing the development of MCU because Disney felt the studio head Kevin Feige should report directly to Walt Disney Studios chairman Alan Horn.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
although Ike Perlmutter Jeff Loeb still reported to Perlmutter up until 2019.
Like, I still want him to be a part of it. I'm not saying fire the guy. I mean, the guy has obviously done some good bringing in, these characters into the show. You had the Defenders, which I liked. But it's very clear that they want Kevin Feige to be the top guy, the dog. I mean, he's even in charge of the comics now. Yeah,
he's earned the role, to be fair to him.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. There's no part of me that is denying that. I guess I want to see the Feige vision of the show brought into those, because I love Daredevil.
He is not. I'll just mention he's not overseeing the Disney Plus shows.
Kevin Feige?
Yeah, he might be executive producing them, but he's not involved as much as he is in the movies.
That's fascinating. So that means that there's going to be probably some more criticism towards the shows from critics at that point.
I can't remember exactly the details, but it's due to time constraints because he's obviously doing the movie still. He's now overseeing all of Marvel.
The guy's spread so thin. I mean, they want him to just do everything, and it's like he's not omnipresent. He can't do that.
Yeah, he's spread so thin. If you hold him up to a light, you can see through it.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I'm sure he still has some involvement, like general direction. He's sort of overseeing, but he's not super involved. Was the last I heard.
Okay.
Yeah, and last bit of news was just another sort of big announcement this week is Batman: The Dark Knight by Tom Taylor and Andy Kubert.
Hell yeah.
Yes, this is like an old man Bruce style story where he's going on like a globe-trotting adventure. I love Tom Taylor's work, so I'm very excited for this.
I'm very interested in seeing how this is going to turn out. I have told myself that I'm not going to buy some of the other Batman comics that come out outside of Batman and Detective Comics, but I mean, you get Tom Taylor and Andy Kubert on something there. I mean, of course I'm going to check it out.
Yeah. And yeah,
good.
Tom Taylor's one of the few writers I trust. He's consistently delivered high quality work.
I would agree with that. I feel like he got the shit end of the stick a few times at Marvel, so it's kind of nice to see that he's
he had runs cut short. Like he found out his X-Men run was ending on Twitter.
Ooh,
which I think that was him. It might have been someone else, but I'm pretty sure he found out.
Like finding out you got broken up by looking at your Facebook status.
Oh yeah, that is.
Yeah, it's like finding your girlfriend on Tinder.
Ooh. It's like I got nothing.
Like rain on your wedding day.
It's like rain on your wedding day.
Yeah.
Nog usually likes to sing with me.
Let's not do any copyrighted material on the show. We don't want to get sued.
Oh no, it's okay.
It's far enough from the original.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I think that was the main thing. Then we just got like a few DC solicits to mention.
Before we move on to that, I just had a thought. What was the Iron Man run that he did? Superior Iron Man. Did you ever read that?
Who was this that did that?
Tom Taylor.
I did not know he worked on Iron Man.
He did Superior Iron Man. It was following Axis when people's moral polarity was shifted. His run got cut short at like issue like 9.
I think I've heard some what's what I'm looking for?
Mixed things or
mixed things.
Well, so here's the issue is this is one of those
conflicting was the word I was looking for.
It's not that it was poorly written. It was well written. I think the issue is that there was a lot of confusion because right after Tom Taylor's Superior Iron Man run was Bendis' Iron Man run. There was no clarification whatsoever about how Tony Stark suddenly got his morals back. Why, like what happened with that? It kind of like ignored and retconned the Tom Taylor run entirely. And a lot of people really blamed Bendis for it, which I don't think is really fair because editorial is the one that's in charge of that.
Yeah, but I think the problem with Bendis is that people just throw, like, the companies bend over backwards to please him. Like, they cancelled Super Sons because he was coming over to DC and wanted Superman.
Well, he asked to do Superman, but he, as far as I'm aware, he doesn't ask for things to be cancelled. If anything, he encourages these things to be...
I agree, but I think like the problem is the companies are like, oh, let's take all this stuff away from them because Bendis is doing it.
Thing is like with Iron Man in specific, I mean, that was around the time that he was signing the contract with DC. So it wasn't that he like knew he was going into it. I mean, in his final statement, he said, when I was sitting down with the executives at Marvel, they asked me what I wanted to write next. They asked me, do I want to do Deadpool? Do I want to do Wolverine?
Oh, right, yeah.
And then these are his words. And then I realized that I have written all of the things that I want to write and that I want to move forward with that. I want to move on and do something different. And I think that he kind of just did Iron Man because they wanted a strong Iron Man book because of Robert Downey Jr. I think that you're right, that they definitely bent over backwards to try to like get him what he wants. But that being said, he strikes me as the kind of person who really wants creators to get their dues. I feel like
I never meant to imply there was any sort of hostility on his part.
No.
It is the companies trying to, they're like, oh, let's get all this out of the way, Bendis is coming, kind of thing. Like they really want to push him to
compare it to the Jay Leno situation from a few years ago, but I mean, there's no malice.
Oh, where I see what you're saying. That would be.
He's not, trying to screw anybody over.
Yeah.
No, I think it's more the company trying to push the Bendis stuff, so they sort of give the other creators a short end of the stick.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. I don't necessarily disagree with that. I think that makes sense. That I don't know. So Patrick Gleason has said on his Instagram, in a post that was responding to a comment question about like how he felt about his Super Sons being canceled and what they've been doing to John Kent. And his exact wording is still sticking in my head, which was, maybe I'll answer that later. And he's obviously not happy about what's been happening and the creative choice that Bendis took with it.
But
I personally like it, but
I'm not a fan of Bendis' take of John Kent. And I can understand why Pat Gleason did feel wrong, because he was one of the critics that did sort of bring John Kent into this new role he's in. Mm-hmm. Him and Tamaki during Rebirth really built this John Kent character up, and then to have Bendis come in and go, oh, we're going to age him up 9 years off screen. It's kind of...
Well, it wasn't off screen. They brought him back and they explained like what happened.
Yeah, we did have a flashback, but it wasn't...
Yeah. Well, at least he like looks the age, or he has aged those years and has just not, we're going to put a kid in an adult's body.
Yeah, that could have been a lot worse. That's a good point. Okay. Well, before we continue moving
Josh,
on,
did you have a bit of news?
I was going to say, I just got a notification from HBO Max that there's 1 week left to watch Wonder Woman 84 before it's not on HBO anymore. So get on that.
Really?
Yeah,
each of these Warner Brother movies are only up for a month.
Okay, that's interesting.
It's a weird choice because they're taking the money away from the movie theaters.
And then actually, because they're opening them. No. They've actually announced that they are going to have these things in theaters as well as in the streaming service.
I get that, but the thing is, if it's on stream, people aren't going to go to the theaters.
Yeah, anybody that was going to watch it,
you
might have watched it in the theater, probably already watched it streaming.
You'd be very surprised because they still are making a profit. They've turned $75 million on opening week for Wonder Woman 1984. How?
Was that worldwide or in the U.S.?
As far as I'm aware, it's worldwide. But in the U.S., there are still a lot of theaters that are open. In the case of Regal Cinemas, for example, they're closed. Everywhere's closed. They're not going to risk anything. AMC theaters, though, they're still
Cinemark, I've seen them.
Yeah.
But they're like very limited hours at Cinemark.
I mean,
limited days, limited hours.
I love going to the movies. It's one of my favorite pastimes. I have gone to the movies so many times in my life that the taste of the fake butter on popcorn, it lives in my stomach permanently. I miss it going to the theaters, of course, but I understand the necessity of it. Would make sense to have these options.
So they're
at the hit ready because I mean, if it's limiting the risk. I mean, everybody's worried about the risk of exposure. When I went and saw Tenet in theaters, there was people coughing in the fucking theater.
Yeah, when I went to go see Tenet, I booked the tickets online, and they had all these like disclaimers. They're like, "Oh, the seats will be socially distanced. You won't be able to sit like within one seat of each other. Masks are mandatory. All that stuff." I went to see it. Every seat was filled.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. No one was wearing a mask.
Let's see. So on the Wikipedia, they have the box office numbers. So it's 36 million in the United States and Canada as of 2 days ago. So it doesn't have this weekend's figures in there, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And
my guess is they would be working that out from. Was this theatre gross or including HBO Max?
Grossed. It's grossed 36 million in the United States and Canada, and 106 million in other territories.
Okay.
My guess with how they're calculating the HBO figures would be like new subscribers during this period. Mm-hmm. In the lead up to Wonder Woman.
Maybe. I mean, they definitely removed the free week period, trial period for them in order to make sure that they maximize their profits. But, oh well. We're going to start off with one that we've all read, which is Haha number
Solicits.
1 by...
Solicits. Did you want to do Solicits first or after? When did you want to talk about
we can do Solicits. Yeah. I mean, I definitely want to talk about the April stuff.
I was just kind of grouping that into the news stuff. But if you want to do it afterwards...
No, you know what? Actually, let's do that first because I actually want to know. I'm going into this blind. I don't know what's coming out in April. So why don't you and Josh tell me what's coming out?
In April?
Okay, so is it just the DC stuff we got at the minute, or is it?
I think it's just DC that's been announced so far.
Okay. So right at the top of the solicits, the big number one is a book I know Ty is very excited for. It is Green Lantern issue 1 by Geoffrey Thorne and Dexter Soy.
Is it new Green Lantern?
It's just called Green Lantern number 1.
That's it? It's not called the new Green Lantern?
No.
Oh, that's what I thought it was going to be originally called. Well, I'm not looking forward to this. It's based off of the Future State one.
The premise does sound mildly interesting. It's tying into the Bendis stuff with the United Planets and how the Guardians of the Universe are now sort of evaluating the United Planets and how they can sort of redistribute among them.
Mm-hmm.
And it also brings in Teen Lantern Kelly Quintella from Young Justice.
Sure.
This is a book you're very excited for.
Yeah, shut up. To people who don't know, I'm a big Green Lantern fan. You're a big Green Lantern fan. I'm a really big Green Lantern fan, as I show all of my Green Lantern everything.
Where?
Fuck off. Yeah, there's not like a big obvious tattoo on my arm.
Oh, it's not a squiggle.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I'm frustrated with it because that issue was not
we'll
good.
discuss it in a little while.
Okay.
We also have the print copy of Challenger for Super Sons #1, which is collecting some of the digital first stories that have been published.
The Challenge of the Super Sons?
Yeah, that's the new digital first series that Tamaki's been doing.
Okay.
And this is like the first physical print release of the first couple of stories in one issue.
All right.
Big things. Obviously, we've got Philip Kennedy Johnson writing Superman and Action Comics.
Which I'm very pumped for.
Yeah, I'm interested to see it. You guys have been giving me a lot of good buzz from his Last God.
Oh my god, it's so good. Listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
Oh, yeah.
I plan on reading. Has the final issue come out yet?
No,
Or is there still one more?
This month, I think.
Okay,
I can tell you in
catch
just
up.
a sec.
Yeah, I will binge read that when the last issue comes out.
The 27th.
I'm pumped.
So a week from
This
Wednesday.
month? Cool.
That's the end of the first book.
Yeah. I don't know if any of us are reading it. I don't think so. But to those of you at home who are, American Vampire 1976 by Scott Snyder has been extended by 3 issues.
Oh.
To 10.
I see it at the store. I just don't get it.
I need to catch up on it because there's been like so many issues at this point.
It's been so many years for me that like I'm kind of same thing happened with me with Manifest Destiny. Like when you take 2.5 to 3 years hiatus, I get burnt out. I'm gonna go back into Saga whenever that comes back 5 years from now, and I'm gonna be like, do I even care anymore? It's been so long.
We have James Tynion IV is continuing his Batman run, but he is doing backups. So in Batman we have Ghostmaker, written by Tynion and art by Ricardo Lopez Ortiz, who he's not a name I'm familiar with, but we shall see.
They're introducing a lot more
They've got a lot of new
artists. Yeah.
Artists and writers. We've got a lot of newcomers and
It's interesting to see that because I feel like I'm seeing a lot of people hop over to do some of the creator-owned stuff right now. Right now feels to me like the time for creator-owned stuff.
Yeah,
that's just
definitely.
my personal observation.
No, absolutely. There's been a lot of creator-owned stuff recently that sort of appealed to me that I've been checking out compared to previous years. Yes, I'm just looking for more ones. We've got Batcat continuing by Tom King.
I don't know if I'm gonna. Well, I mean, I'll pick up issue 2, but issue 1 captivated me. I just don't know if I want to keep getting these giant. I love Tom King, but I mean, how many? I need to give people. I need to give more people my money, not just him.
It's only a 12.
Yeah. Well, most Tom King stories are only a 12.
Except his Batman run that was too long.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Detective Comics with Mariko Tamaki is getting a backup featuring Huntress.
I'm actually excited for this. Yeah. I'm not happy about the online response by the snowflakes online who are making shitty comments.
What are these shitty comments? I've not heard.
It's, you know how it is with these hypersensitive turds who are just like, whoa, they're gonna make Batman a gender neutral black person who's now 85 and disabled.
But why is that Mariko Tamaki's fault?
I have no idea. Apparently, because Mariko Tamaki is a person who's not on the normal spectrum of like cis white straight male. I think that's what they're concerned about. You know how it is with people online. They're stupid.
A white Canadian.
That's it. I have never seen even a picture of her. All I know is that I've seen the chatter.
She's a white Canadian, and I thought maybe she is like gender neutral or something, but no, she's just a female writing Batman, which is crazy.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
No, but I enjoyed the stuff in Dark Detective that we're going to talk about. But yeah, there's a backup featuring Huntress, and I got to say,
you know what? I'm looking. I see what it is. It's because she has tattoos and has color in her hair. Oh fucking no!
Jeez, wait until they hear about Kelly Sue DeConnick.
Oh God.
She's got color in her hair.
Oh my god.
Burn
she
the
does
Witch.
her lipstick.
Oh my god.
Burn the Witch. Just to clarify, by the way, for new listeners and people who have no idea who we are, we don't tolerate that bullshit. We fucking hate supporters of Comic-Gate and Ethan Van Sciver, and anybody who is the like. So get fucked.
Yeah, and when you hear me saying "burn the witch," that is sarcasm. It's something we have in Britain. That
sure.
Do you have it?
Yeah, I don't know if Americans really have it over in the US, but in Britain, sarcasm
limited
is a big
supply.
Thing. Yeah.
Unfortunately, these days, Jesus Christ, isn't it kidding?
But yeah, I just finished reading Tamaki's Wonder Woman stuff, which really sort of fell apart at the end, which is a shame because the first few issues were really, really good. I really enjoyed them. But yeah, I don't know if she got taken off the book too sooner than she expected, so she was sort of rushing plot threads, but it did just sort of fall apart.
Remind me, what else did Mariko Tamaki write? I feel, oh, you know what?
She did.
One summer. I enjoyed this one summer. That one was really good. I actually want to read more of her work because of that.
Yeah, I read Supergirl Being Super by her. That was pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a 3-issue mini from a couple of years ago. And
cool.
Joelle Jones on art, I think, as well. Always a selling point. Yeah, that was pretty good. It was kind of like Superman's Secret Identity by Busick, where it's sort of doing like a real world kind of version of her to an extent, I think. Okay. It's been like 3 or 4 years, and I don't really remember, but that was kind of the vibe I remember.
Okay.
Yeah, we have Tynan doing his Joker book, which has a backup featuring Punchline, which has art by Mirka Andolfo, who is hot shit at the minute. Obviously we have Bendis on Justice League, sorry. We have a new Harley Quinn run written by Stephanie Phillips and art by Riley
Wait a
Rosmo.
minute. Hang on a second. I just want to stop you really quick there. Do we know if there's anything else that he's writing at this point, Bendis? Because I know he's doing Justice League on 59 onwards, at least for right now.
I know he's got some Jinx World stuff coming.
This is the first time I've seen him do one title from a publisher. Because
I hope it means he's not going to burn out as much as he did on Superman. Because I did really enjoy some of his early stuff on Superman and Action Comics. And then I feel as it went on and he started doing Young Justice,
don't get me wrong. I wasn't that impressed with Young Justice, but
I liked the first few issues, but the rest of it was just filler. The first arc kind of felt like it was going somewhere, and then it was 14 issues of filler after that.
I feel like when he directed his attention away from that back to Superman and Action Comics and Legion, I think that he had a lot more drive and direction, and I've still really enjoyed Legion of Superheroes. Is he ending that at 12?
I don't know. That's the last issue that's Solicited, which I think is coming this week, and then we've got Future State, so it might be back in some form after this. Is it on the solicits?
That's the thing I'm confused about, because there's a Future State solicit and then issue 12. So what does that entail?
Yeah, well, issue 12 is coming this coming week, and then I don't know when Future State's starting. It might be the following week. But yeah, there might have been a delay somewhere that sort of pushed it back, so that's why it's coming out.
Yeah, there was a delayed. Yeah, it was delayed 4 weeks out. It is the final issue of his Legion story. That's so weird, because he announced that this is like one of the biggest stories that he was writing. So like, what's the point here?
Maybe it's going to tie into Justice League and he's going to bring the Legion in. I don't know.
This is why I hate when publishers do shit like this for like shit like Future State and 5G, because it takes away from every creator's plan to do something really big and cool, and then it just it's this weird umbrella that just reigns inside.
But a lot of writers are still continuing. We've got Ram V continuing Justice League Dark and Catwoman. We've got Tynan continuing Batman. Yeah, we've got Tynan continuing Batman. If Bendis' stuff was selling well, I don't know. He's probably got some plan, but like,
we're not.
This is the first time. I'm just saying, this is the first time that I've seen Bendis stuff getting put on the back burner like this. It's not as if
they realized his stuff wasn't selling as well as expected.
Maybe, but I mean, this is the same thing that I feel like the same thing that's happened with his stuff on oh shoot, what was it called? Checkmate or whatever.
Checkmate's coming back. Actually, Checkmate's coming back. It's been confirmed.
So it was just delayed. It wasn't canceled.
Yeah, indefinitely delayed, and he's confirmed it's coming back in this new sort of slate of stuff. I think it got delayed because of 5G, and they wanted to wait until after all the sort of new universe stuff had happened.
Yeah, I heard 5G's rolling out.
What?
It was a different 5G joke.
Yeah,
I hate you.
5G.
Yeah, 5G.
You son of a bitch. I'm in. All right, continue. Sorry.
Yeah, I think that's all the sort of big ones. We've got Nightwing by Tom Taylor continuing, which I am
Looking
hyped
forward
for.
to that. Absolutely.
We had Ron Burgundy show up on the cover for issue 79.
Oh, yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, then just sort
Hit
of...
me up. What else?
We've got Ramby Swamp Thing, which I'm going to check out.
Same.
We've got an issue of Superman Red and Blue, which has a very strange... The face looks a bit elongated on the cover.
That is because... Wait, are you looking at the variant or the original cover?
I think the original. Yeah, the original.
Okay.
The Nicholas Scott one.
How do you guys feel about this resurgence of anthology books all of a sudden?
As long as the quality's there, I like it.
I just think it's interesting that this has spawned mostly out of the anthology Batman book that came out. Then you have Wolverine. Now you've got Superman. There's going to be
Harley
a Carnage
Quinn
book coming out. There's an anthology Harley Quinn.
Yeah. The trade comes out in this Solicits. Harley Quinn, black, white, and red.
Why?
I don't know. The first issue was a tie into Harleen, and then there was a Sean Murphy one that tied into White Knight.
Sean just looked into the camera like exasperated, like he just saw something that just broke his heart.
Sean?
Josh, sorry. Names.
It me.
What's going on, man?
Nothing. Just missing something.
Okay.
We also have Suicide Squad by Robbie Thompson, and I'm not familiar with this writer's work, but the lineup has me intrigued. We've got Connor Kent and a Talon on the Suicide Squad, which is interesting to me.
I have read some stuff by Robbie Thompson before, and I didn't hate it. I can't say that I was mesmerized by it, but I didn't hate it.
Yeah, the lineup sort of has me sold on it. Like, you put Connor Kent and a Talon into Task Force X, and I'm just like, what are they doing with that?
Well, Superboy is one of my favorite characters. I mean, he has been since Young Justice back in the 90s. At least from DC's end, at least.
Yeah.
But it seems like out of place for... I don't know. I'll give it a shot, but I'm hesitant. I'm cautiously hesitant.
We've got Teen Titans Academy by Tim Sheridan.
Not looking forward to that. Sorry.
Did you read the Future State issue this week?
Of Teen Titans? No.
Yeah. Oh, I liked it.
Really? Why?
It was just... Well, we'll get to it a bit later on.
Okay.
I think it did a lot of setup, and the characters were written in character, but it sort of depends how they follow through the story. But yeah, we'll get into it a bit later on. And we've got Becky Cloonan on Wonder Woman, which I've heard good things about her writing.
She's a good writer.
Yeah, and I'm just hoping it doesn't go the way Mariko Tamaki's arc did, where it got cut short and fell apart. But it's doing some interesting stuff. It looks like it's dealing with Norse afterlife, which should be fun.
Yeah. That's going to be interesting to see.
Get her to meet
the
Thor.
art. Maybe. I mean, it's a possibility.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing about mythology characters is that because they exist under the concept of they're mythological creatures, there's nobody that can legally own them. There's nobody that can make a legal declaration of it. The difference between...
That's why in the 60s or 70s, whenever it was, would have been the 60s, that's why they created the Donald Blake persona for Thor in the Marvel Universe.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
You're about to say something about an artist.
Well, the artist who's going to be working on that Wonder Woman run, I don't know really their work before, but
Travis Moore.
It's just... Yeah, I'm not from... That's Travis Moore?
Yeah. And Will Conrad. Oh, no, he's writing. Michael Conrad. Yeah, Travis Moore's doing the art.
Really?
Yeah.
That's really weird. That's doesn't look like Travis Moore to me. That's weird. Maybe it's the coloring.
Maybe. Who's doing the color? It doesn't say the colorist.
I like Travis Moore. I like Travis Moore a lot. Okay.
Yeah. Be interesting to see how it goes. And that's got a backup featuring young Diana, written by Geordie Belair, who I've also heard good stuff about her writing. And she's
really
traditionally
the
a
colorist?
Yeah. She's done some writing. She writes the Buffy book at Boom.
Oh, right. You know what? I actually really enjoyed that.
Yeah, and she's done bits here and there at DC. She's done like stories like annuals and stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for solicits.
Well, hell yeah. Let's keep on keeping on, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Has Marvel announced any solicitations?
I do not think so. No, they have
not. I'm looking at an article from Inside Pulse that seems to be advertising some, but it looks like it's mostly talking. Nope, it looks like it's just the one. It's the Avengers King in Black issue 45.
Is there a reason they're advertising it so early?
I have no idea, but it's still written by Jason Aaron with art by Luca Maresca, who I'm unfamiliar with, but I hopped off that because it's just not appealing to me at this point. I like Jason Aaron, and I was really disappointed in like how the direction. It seems like it's just bouncing around too much. There's no focus on what's going on. There's a lot of building towards the villains and different characters, which fascinates me, but it just doesn't seem focused, and that's really disappointing and doesn't keep me interested.
That's fair enough.
Okay.
So are we good to go into books now?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Haha.
Haha.
So the first book we're discussing is Haha #1 by W. Maxwell Prince and Vanessa R. Del Rey.
Josh, what did you think about this?
Haha.
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 Haha. For listeners, I apologize. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. I get like some American Psycho vibes out of this guy. He's just it's kind of delusional. It was an interesting issue. I liked a lot of it. There's a lot of things in here that I like that they did.
Yeah, it reminds me a little of Joker, the movie, where he's sort of being beaten down constantly.
Yeah, just got to keep smiling. Everything's great. So when I don't know, we can jump in, talk about some of the pages, or just share some general sentiments.
Yeah, I can do both. Full spoilers for the issue ahead.
Yeah.
Well, I think that we don't really have to worry too much about the spoilers because this is an anthology book, right?
Yeah.
Where each individual book is.
Yeah.
Well,
if you haven't read it yet, it'll be spoilers.
I am interested in seeing where this is going, but I feel like Ice Cream Man kind of captivated me a little bit stronger in the first issue.
Okay.
Yeah, this wasn't as weird as I was expecting, but I felt the same about Ice Cream Man. The first issue was well told, but it really sort of went to the next level when it started getting really trippy and Twilight Zone-y and weird. So I'm hoping I'm hoping it sort of goes a bit off the rails the next few issues and very trippy. And
the story's all right. I like the art a lot more.
Yeah, the art's really nice. It's sort of got that like dark shading.
That first page with the trees are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's something. I want to see more stuff like this out there. I want this to exist more in the world because this is a very traditional style of comic book telling from the Silver Age. I'm happy to see that they're continuing this kind of work. Is this entire series just about like themed around clowns?
I think so.
Yes. Based on the title.
I mean, the second issue looks like it's going to be, some actress or Harley Quinn stage show that puts on paint.
I mean, it's only a 6-issue mini.
Is it really?
So, yeah, it's not going to be an ongoing like Ice Cream Man is.
I mean, that's probably for the best because I feel like the trope with clowns is kind of tired. So maybe this will be for the best.
Yeah.
All right.
I think this. I think you definitely have to read it twice, unless you saw all the pages and absorbed everything on the first time. But I think there's some stuff to pick up the second time around.
Such as?
Well, they all the clowns lose their job. The entire theme park is going under, and he gets mugged by his, great best friend, whatever, in the parking lot. And he talks about, his daughter's ballet classes are expensive. And right on the first page, you can see right next door, the house next door, there's a girl, practicing ballet. And then you see him drive by later on and waves to the guy as he's practicing ballet with his daughter.
And he sees him with
it's not
he's
just,
got a clown face on.
Yeah, it's not just, his friend, but it's literally his next door neighbor mugs him in the parking lot.
Yeah, it's dark.
You can't disappear into the wind.
Also, I just want to point out a little Easter egg here. It's on the page just after he's waved to his neighbor. We get a little Pennywise reference. We have the little boat floating towards the train.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
I did see that.
I only just noticed it now as I was looking through.
Yeah.
It was good.
Thinking there might be something with the ducks going along the road. Maybe it's just make way for duckling or something.
Make way for duckling. Yeah.
Also, is there dinosaurs on the panel on the left as well? Hot air balloons.
And hot air balloons. Yeah. There's an
He's just seeing, he's seeing the world in a different, strange light now.
Yeah. He's a balloon. His family's a balloon.
We're all balloons.
Yeah. One of the things that I really liked was on the title page, sort of title page, where he's at the carnival and it says Funville. One of the banners, or two of the banners for the different stalls, show layouts by John Starr and pencils and inks by
Vanessa
Del Rey. Sorry, I couldn't read the name for a second.
Words are hard.
Yeah, that's quite cool.
Well, it looked like Nanessa. I'm like, that's an interesting name.
I'm just wondering if anyone else's name is hidden somewhere that we can't see, because it's weird just having the artist and layouts and not the writer's name on there.
Yeah, gotta look a little closer on here.
It looks like the Ferris wheel in the back spelling something, but I can't. I see like an A in there and a H. Oh, it says haha, I think.
Haha.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of the ending? I thought the transition to balloons was an artistic choice. Do you feel like that's implying that this is going to have this character come back?
If it's going to be anything like Ice Cream Man, you're not going to see them anymore.
It's just kind of
Twilight. Unless he's the new Ice Cream Man.
I don't think so. I think it's just going to be like a Twilight Zone kind of thing where each issue is its own thing and this character's just sort of gone insane and gone back to his life.
Okay.
Like he's had that sort of Joker split from reality, but instead of like Breaking Bad and going to a crime, he's sort of gone back to his life. Haha.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm hoping it gets a little more trippy in the next few issues, because I think that's where Ice Cream Man really shined, was when it did some really weird, like out there concepts. Like there was an issue of Ice Cream Man where this kid got like a 3-scoop cone where like there was like strawberry, vanilla, and chocolate, and then he goes to a crossroad, and like he goes left, and the color scheme's like pink, where he's had strawberry, straight on sort of like yellowy vanilla, and then right's brown. And then like each page is like 3 different panels of him with different color schemes doing like, it's sort of like his life if he went like through each of the roads. And it was, that was like a really sort of weird, trippy story, and I really liked it. And I hope this sort of, like this first issue seemed a little safe and a little formulaic.
Just kind of ease you in a little bit.
Yeah.
That's the problem that I had with it, is this was well written, but it did feel safe. I think that's the thing that I had a hard time with it.
So I think
I'm obviously going to pick up that again.
Yeah, it's only a 6, so I see myself picking it up.
Yeah, it's not
well enough.
It's only $4 an issue here.
Issue 3 is sold out. Good. I think it deserves it. Like Ice Cream Man was good. This is good.
All right. Well, I guess we can continue on reading it, but we'll just keep on checking in, folks, and we'll talk to you more about it there. Do we want to go into some of the stuff about the future state stuffs?
Yeah, we can dive right into future state if you want.
All right, so I just got to get this out of the way. I fucking hated this goddamn Green Lantern issue.
Okay, we'll start with Green Lantern then.
I just got to get this out of the way.
Yeah, so Geoffrey Thorne wrote the Last Lantern story and art by Tom Rainey. And it was as generic a John Stewart story you could have. He's leading a band of lanterns without rings. And again, because we haven't seen that story before.
Yeah, because it's another world. This is a timeline where the central power battery has lost all its power. Again. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah. And
there's got to be a switch somewhere to flip on.
Just recharge it. It's a battery. Just recharge it.
I just don't understand the...
I felt disappointed by this because of Geoffrey Thorne's sort of comments before it came out. His comments really sort of excited about like how he finds Hal Jordan boring, and he wanted to tell a great John Stewart story that really gives some character to this character, really gives him a personality, and makes him fully formed a three-dimensional character.
And I get that. I think that everyone is entitled to their own opinions about these things, especially towards the Green Lanterns. There's a bunch of human Green Lanterns. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Hal Jordan, but I can understand why some people think he's a bit of a cardboard cutout, because he is a little stoic. He is a little... All Hal Jordan stories end with him overcoming his fear and using his unlimited supply of willpower to defeat the bad guy.
So this is the problem that I have with it. Is this is the same argument that people have about Clark Kent, and that he's boring, that he's the Boy Scout. That's a writer's problem more than anything else. That's not the character's fault. Yeah. Hal Jordan is an idiot. Hal Jordan, by definition, is the moron. That's why he has no fear. That's what makes him the best. He's frustratingly good at being the best Green Lantern, because he's a goddamn moron who has no fear about these things. Yeah. So while everybody else is frustrated with the fact that he is the air quotes best Lantern, the reason why is that cost of his basic common sense.
And this isn't an insult to him, because I really enjoy Hal Jordan as a character. Like Jeff Johns' Green Lantern run is one of my favorite runs of all time. I didn't read Robert Venditti's New 52 stuff, or I read a little bit, but not much of it, because I didn't really dig it. But he came back in Rebirth, and I really enjoyed the Rebirth run he did. He did some good work.
You know what? I'm not going to go into too big of a rant because we'll be here all day. But I'm going to read the first issue of this Geoffrey Thorne one that comes out. And then if it doesn't captivate me right away, I'm going to move on, because I'm heartbroken at this.
Because I do feel like his comments on Twitter did sort of excite me for this. He was promising to do something new with John Stewart, and he just didn't.
It's him with dreadlocks and a sword. Like that's it.
Yeah. If I'd come into this blind and been disappointed, fair enough. But the fact that he promised me something new, he really got me excited for it, and then it was just disappointing.
Yeah. I don't know what to think, honestly.
But yeah, we got two more stories. And wait, did you have anything else you wanted to contribute to Geoffrey Thorne?
No, not at all. I guess I just wanted to say that the other two stories were pretty decent.
That's what I was just going into. We had The Taking of Sector 123 by Ryan Cady and Sami Basri, which obviously a play on Taking of Pelham 123, I presume.
Sure.
Yeah. This is a Jessica Cruz story of her in a lantern safe house, and it gets invaded by some yellow lanterns. It's like sort of like her crawling through the vents, taking them out one by one. Who was the Yellow Lantern, the main one, who's keeper of the Book of Parallax?
Lissa Drack.
Yep, her name escaped me. Yeah, so
it's all in here, man.
You're the Green Lantern guy.
If I only got one fucking thing, that's fine.
But yeah, it was her crawling through the vents, kind of taking out one by one.
Sure.
I thought had a little bit of like a Home Alone kind of feel to it.
I could see that.
Yeah, Ty's favorite movie franchise.
Oh, ever, yeah.
Yeah, it was fun, and at the end, because she is someone who has overcome great fear, because she has anxiety, and she's had quite a good character journey of overcoming that and becoming a hero.
I agree.
But at the end of this, she gets given a Yellow Lantern ring,
which I thought was a really cool storytelling choice.
I'm down for it, but I was kind of confused because it's like you have the ability to instill great fear, and that's not really Jess's character.
Yeah, I think that this probably has something to do with the fact that the central power battery is drained, so the other lanterns that exist in the universe are trying to balance that out, fill that void. But who knows what's going to happen next. The last story with Guy Gardner was
Book of Guy by Ernie Altbacker and art by Clayton Henry. Yeah, it was nothing groundbreaking, but it was entertaining enough. He lands on this planet where there's this civil war between these two factions, and he's kind of like translating. He's like, "I'll just quit it," but then his ring runs out of power, and he's sort of stranded there, powerless. And he basically becomes their messiah.
And becomes the messiah.
He picks up a bit of space junk that crashed in the planet, and because he can hold the what do they call it?
I don't even remember.
The relic. Because he can wield this relic that's literally just a piece of space junk that's drifted down. He's now their messiah. And it takes place over like a couple of years, a couple of decades, where they still treat him like a messiah, but he learns the language, and it's quite funny because he's got like the two opposing factions, and they're still like, oh, as soon as you go, we're going to kill each other again.
Yep.
You brought us peace, but as soon as you leave, we're going to start a war again. He's like,
this is nice, but war is a lot more fun.
Yeah, because they see the other side as heretics, and they're like, yeah, you're a messiah, and we will follow your word, but as soon as you go, they're dead.
Is he gone? Is he gone? Fuck you!
But no, like the end of it takes place 25 years later, and he really does sort of bring peace to them, but then the last page, Lobo shows up and takes over as being prophet.
This is over a span of years, and I don't like that.
25 years.
Let's move on, because I'm just gonna rant.
One question. This goes up to, this is a lead up to Future State, or this is just, this is his entire storyline through Future State?
That's the thing about the Future State line, is that this is all of the Future State stuff is stories that is happening like years down the road. Yeah. So everything that's happening in like next Batman is like 5, 10, 25 years down the road. Everything happening here is years down the road. So we don't know how long, in some cases, some of these events have been happening. We don't know what's happened in between. Imagine in the Bible where Jesus was born and then suddenly he's 30 years old. Yeah. It's like that.
Nah, that never happened.
There is an official timeline in one of they released that special issue like no.
Did they retcon the Bible?
Yeah, they did.
Is it like a Jonathan Hickman timeline?
Oh my god, yeah, Jonathan Hickman writing Jesus would be fucking sick.
It's now got all these infographics and you don't understand what's going on.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm so excited by the idea of that now.
Yeah. That would be pretty neat. Just get each writer to write their own book. The book according to Bendis.
No, I don't need Bendis to speak for Jesus.
None of them have to agree.
Grant Morrison, Jesus.
Yeah, it's better if they don't agree.
Okay, so that takes on to the rest of... Oh, you're starting to go.
No. I was just going to ask. You read Justice League and Dark Detective, right?
I read everything.
So
everything.
Oh, God.
Sucker.
Do me a favor and just pitch Justice League and Dark Detective to me, because I want to know like what I should be excited for.
Okay. Well, Justice League, let me call up the lineup we have of this. So this is the futuristic Justice League starring John Kent Superman, Yara Flor Wonder Woman, Tim Fox Batman, Andy Curry, who is the daughter of Arthur, Aquaman. Mm-hmm. We have Joe Mulin, Green Lantern from Far Sector. And we also have this new Flash from Elsewhere in the Multiverse, the niece of Jesse Quick.
Yep. You've seen them all separately, now see them together.
Okay.
Yep. So we established them as a fully formed team. Like we have like a quick recap on the first couple of pages where it's like they come together when the multiverse needs saving. They are our heroes kind of thing.
Yeah. So we see them battling like Starro.
Yes, dark side of Starro on his face.
Yeah. With the anti-life equation upset. It's just the Omega upside down. Fighting like an army of Jokers, fighting some dinosaur pterodactyls.
Yeah, and then I can't quite tell what the last one is. Yeah. Is that Joker clones?
I think so. Just an army of Jokers.
Yeah, so this book really, in the first couple of pages, it establishes this isn't the new Justice League. This is the Justice League.
Yeah, once again, we're kind of jumping in the middle. They formed, they've worked together. They're a team.
Yeah.
They're loved by everyone.
Exactly. They don't feel like a replacement Justice League. It's like, this is the Justice League. as they are now.
Not a replacement, but like this is the next iteration.
Yeah. We also have the Legion of... Go on.
No. Continue.
We also have the new Legion of Doom, which is Despero's daughter, a new Amazo, Cobalt Blue, who is a Flash villain, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. We have a Talon who is... He's got like the venom that Bane uses.
Yeah. Brought back from the dead.
Yep.
So each Justice League member has their own anti-hero, their own villain to go against them.
Absolutely. And the Legion of Doom is sort of talking like, oh, we have a secret weapon this time.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to fight them. And then it cuts to the next page, and this is the Justice League finding the Legion of Doom's dead bodies.
And I thought this was the plan. Like, we'll frame them for killing us.
Yeah. But no, this did not go to plan
It's
at all.
a joke.
Yeah. And I like how we see there are some relationships in this group, some friendships and stuff.
Yeah.
The new Batman is still Batman. He still disappears behind people's backs.
Mm-hmm.
But Yara Flor and John Kent are friends. They hang out together, despite there being Justice League protocol against it.
So there's new rules where, they keep their secret identities even from each other, but they know each other.
It hints at something that happened to the previous Justice League where they were betrayed by a member, so now they are not allowed to share secret identities.
And they've abandoned the Hall of Justice, but they're brought back to the Hall of Justice because that's where the Legion of Doom decided to stake their claim.
Yeah. But yeah, we have a little panel I like because Clark Kent is basically off-world and has left John Kent to be Superman of Earth. And we just see John sort of stood in the Fortress of Solitude looking like a hologram of his father, and it says out of range. Mm-hmm. And I like that. I like that feeling they're doing of he's become a hero of his own. He is Superman to the world, but he still looks up to his dad and he still wants his dad's help with this.
Yeah. So the team splits up. We see them all kind of doing their own thing separately.
Yeah, and we have Jess Quick and I've forgotten her name already.
You say Andy?
Andy Curry, yep, that's it. They are potentially dating, or at least like friends. Yeah. I can't tell if they're friends because there's nothing sort of outright relationshipy about it, but I sort of get the vibe that they are together.
Yeah.
But yeah, they run out of building and John and Yara are there waiting for them, despite John and Yara being elsewhere. And it is basically the White Martians were unleashed by the Legion of Doom and have taken the place of the Justice League.
Okay.
Yeah. They basically said, hey, the Justice of Doom had a great idea. We're going to do that.
So...
Wait, were they White Martians?
Yes.
Yeah, they were.
I'm going to pause this really quick.
The Hyper Clan.
I want to say that this does seem interesting to me. I am actually still curious about this because I like Joshua Williamson, but I think it doesn't really make sense to me, the idea that when you're doing a Justice League book, it always has to be these refills of these characters, because as much as I'm interested in all of these characters, I feel like if it's a Justice League in the future, I don't need a replacement Flash, right? Like, why can't there just be like the Justice Society of America?
I understand, but this is recycled ideas from 5G where it was supposed to be the new Justice League. So that's basically why. Yeah. Because we were supposed to have John Kent take over as Superman. We were supposed to have Tim Fox as Batman. Joe Mulin was supposed to be Wonder Woman.
Was this the plan? Was the plan to have like all of these characters replace the old characters, or was that just the
pretty much? I think that was going to happen because Tynan confirmed his last Batman issue was supposed to be 100 when 5G was still a thing. But yeah, we have the Hyper Clan as the bad guys in this, who I believe are a Grant Morrison thing from his Justice League run.
Yes.
So is this device that they're trapping them in, is that a mother box?
It doesn't look like it, unless it's like a futuristic version.
Yeah. Well, it seems like they kind of come out of a boom tube.
Yeah, you're right.
To the Hall of Justice.
So it could well be a yeah. It doesn't really explain. I'm sure we'll get clarification of that in issue 2, though.
So are we supposed to know who these White Martians are, the Hyper Clan?
They're from Grant Morrison's Justice League run from 20 years ago.
All right.
I'm not familiar with them, but that's what I've seen online. But yeah, I think for what it was well written. It was fun.
I mean, it's Josh Williamson. I expect that when he writes a story, it should be fun. That's what I picture him as a writer being.
Yeah.
So
then we have a Justice League Dark story in the back. So this is set in sort of a post-apocalyptic wasteland where Merlin has taken over. And this was teased at the end of Ramvy's Justice League Dark run, where we have a mysterious figure in black on the last page, and it says "to be continued."
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming it's Merlin, considering how this issue is set up. But we have Zatanna sort of traveling the wasteland with Bobo.
Yeah.
Bobo, who is now Etrigan.
Gone into him.
Yeah. Gone the Simian. Rise of the Demon Etrigan.
Gone the Simian.
Yes, that's really good.
Yeah. And Merlin has been killing angels as well, not just humans or magic users, but angels as well. And yeah, it's a really well-told story, I think. It's Ramvy's Justice League Dark stuff is really good, and I'm excited to see where it goes next, dealing with this Merlin stuff.
I'm confused about something. I'm just realizing, why isn't Bendis writing this, since he's going to be taking over in issue 59?
I don't know. Because he don't want to. They just want to tell a fun story, so they let Josh Williamson do it. I don't know.
I'm wondering if this is going to be another one of those things where it's a lead up to just a really short run by a good writer, and then it just like fades away. You know,
who's this good writer you're talking about?
Fuck off.
Yeah, but this is fun. Bobo and Zatanna go to Rory Regan for help. That's his name, isn't it?
Rory Regan.
Yeah, Rory Regan, the ragman.
Rory Regan,
yeah,
ragman.
Right, Rory.
While they're there, they get sort of cornered by Merlin's forces. And Rory unleashes Ragman again. Yeah, it's really cool. They go to Constantine for help.
Getting the band together.
Yeah, getting the band back together.
The band back together. Get out of me.
But yeah, this is... It's honestly really good. I think it reads well on its own, and if you've read the Justice League Dark run, your excitement will be more for it. But yeah, I think it's really well told.
I read the first Justice League Dark issue from the most recent run, which I think was either Tiny and yeah. And I really enjoyed that, and I want to read more, but I guess I
binge read it this week,
over
the last 2 weeks. Yeah, there's 28 issues plus an annual, I think.
Okay, I'll get the trades or something then.
Yeah, there's also a crossover which happens between issue 3 and 5. It's really weird. So the first trade has issues 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and then there's a crossover in the middle there that isn't in the trade. That's really important. It was really weird. Google reading order.
Google. All right.
Yeah, your old friend Google.
Should we move on to Dark Detective?
Yes. So Dark Detective, written by Mariko Tamaki and art by Dan Mora, and this is great. So it opens with Bruce sort of overlooking a graveyard in a hoodie, and the narration's Bruce Wayne, son of Gotham, was shot and killed in an alley last month. And we have a flashback to Bruce on the run from the Peacekeeper #1.
So this is starting up from the end of Death Metal? This isn't too far in the future?
No, this is far in the future.
This I don't think is far in the future. This is before next Batman, I believe.
Because I thought you already knew when the he's injured. I thought you said the injuries happened in some other comic that you had read in Death Metal.
No, remember issue 1027 of Detective Comics? Remember there was a precursor to this.
Oh, okay. It's just a precursor. It's not part of the whatever continuity was going on.
No, that led into the end of Tomasi's run, though, with the guy, I can't remember his name, the police officer.
Yeah. Is that not leading into this?
That led into Tomasi's run, the final few issues. But then that is sort of being carried over into this. It's a little weird. But yeah, the Peacekeepers were set up in next Batman as well. They're basically eliminating the masks from Gotham. Gotham is a fascist state.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have Bruce Wayne sort of on the run from the Peacekeepers. He's been shot and injured, and the art's great. I don't think this is too far in the future because he looks a bit sort of rough, but he's not sort of a lot older.
Do we have any idea how old Bruce Wayne actually is? Is he like 50 years old?
He's somewhere between 25 and 50.
I feel like he should be 50 years old.
He should at least be in his 40s.
He could be. Maybe a dip in the Lazarus pit's gonna, make him look a little youthful.
He's gone into the Lazarus pit like 4 times. So, I mean, that wouldn't be that big of an issue.
Hey, man, 5th time's free.
Continue.
Yeah, he's like on the run from them, from the Peacekeepers. He stops a crime in progress, but sort of draws him out of hiding, and then he gets chased down by the Peacekeepers again. And he basically he's in Bruce Wayne form at this point. And as he's running, he basically rips his clothes off, and he's got that like combat military bat suit underneath that you've probably seen in the previews, with like the spray painted bat on it. And yeah, I think what it does, it's really well told. This is Bruce sort of at breaking point where he's been pushed to the limits, which is a story we've never seen before.
Is so fucking god.
Dan Mora is a god. He is a god with the pencil. Who does the colors?
Who do you think? It's Jordi fucking Belair.
Jordi Belair, of course it is.
The Queen.
Well, I said it was Jordi Belair on the next Batman issue, and it turns out I was wrong.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was just double checking before I embarrassed myself again.
You should be embarrassed. You should feel shame.
Yeah, it's got a great sort of
shame.
neon color scheme. It does look very sort of futuristic and
she's so talented.
Cyberpunky. Yeah. But yeah, it's really, really solid. Really enjoyed it.
I am going to be honest with you. Like, there's very few times that I want to be really hyped about a Batman story a lot of the time. But like, just even going through this now, I'm not left wanting, like, looking at this. I'm appealed. This feels to me like an understanding of what these characters and what this universe is supposed to be like. And I'm only just skimming through it. I've read the first 5 pages in the time you're talking, and I'm really drawn into this. Like, by the way that Bruce is drawn, by the way that the characters are wearing their different masks. Like, this is all. Yeah, this is what I want really out of a good detective comic book.
Yeah, I like how the Bat side of Future State is really building a tapestry of all these interweaving stories with the Peacekeepers, and you can read the individual pieces and still enjoy it, but it really does work well as this tapestry of storytelling.
Absolutely.
But yeah, at the end of this, we also have a Grifter story written by Matthew Rosenberg and art by Carmine, DG, and Domenico.
You said it right. Congratulations.
How did I fuck up the easy part of that name?
Right? That's the confusing part for me too. Carmine.
DG and Domenico, I can nail, but Carmine.
DG and Domenico.
Yeah.
DJ and Domenico.
But yeah, this was a really entertaining story. We have Grifter he's grifting. Screwing some guys. Yeah, he's screwing some guys out of poker.
So he's EDS. Get fucked, shills. Moving on. Sorry.
But yeah, he gets like a bar fight and then gets thrown out a window, and the Peacekeepers are just all surrounding it.
Okay.
So he basically goes on the run, gets hit by a car, and gets arrested. And he's put in the back of like this transit, like the paddy wagon. And we have Luke Fox also in there.
Have we seen Carmine Domenico doing other stuff since The Flash?
I think he did some Batgirl.
Really? Okay.
I don't know. I've seen him on something, but nothing sort of big.
He's talented. I'm kind of surprised that he hasn't been, doing more work. Maybe he just takes a while.
Yeah, I think I don't know. He did like the first 8 or 9 issues of Flash Rebirth without a break. So I think he might be a fairly quick artist.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just looking.
Is it just me, or is it kind of weird that Grifter is in the DC universe now?
My first exposure to Grifter was the Flashpoint animated movie, where he wasn't really a character. And that has been my only exposure to Grifter up until Tynan's run. I've never read any Wildstorm or anything, so.
Well, so this is the thing I'm confused about, because my first introduction to him was in issue number 1 on published through DC at the New 52 launch. And that was interesting, but I mean, the discovery that he wasn't an original DC character and that he was a Wildstorm character sold through Jim Lee was an interesting thing to find.
Yeah,
it is, right?
I got I got the whole 24 issue Wildstorm series from, was that 2017, 2018? No, earlier than that.
Warren Ellis one.
Yeah, the Warren Ellis one. I didn't get too many of the side stories, but I got that whole series.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard good things about it, and it was supposed to lead into something.
Yeah, the art was pretty great.
Yeah, it was supposed to lead into a new Wildcats series, but he had some backlash.
It's nice to be represented, because there's a Craven character in there.
Oh, fuck off. Well, he had more than a lot of backlash. I mean, there was people who were accusing him of being like a groomer, I think is what they were saying.
Yeah.
So basically, from what I understand it, because it was confusing to me the first time somebody tried to explain it to me, they were saying that he was having sex with, or trying to have sex with, women that were like studying under him or something, which is creepy. But I didn't see it going any further than that. But the way that it was described to me a second time was that he was trying to, air quotes, groom them, which basically was use his power and authority over them because he was a successful writer.
We're talking about Warren Ellis. I thought we were talking about a character in the comic.
No.
Warren Ellis wrote the Wildstorm run for Youth Collective.
Yeah. He wrote.
Sorry, I thought we were still talking about like a specific comic. I'm like,
no,
wow,
that
that's
was my
really
bad
on
for
the
not
nose.
communicating it. He wrote an apology on it. Was shown on Twitter, but that's like.
Yeah, it was more like, I'm sorry if you felt hurt or used.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I don't really know what else there is to say about that. I mean, I don't know what the inner workings of these things are. I know that this is another thing that's been going on with Army Hammer, and I guess some other people, but
yeah, I saw that.
You're looking
weird stuff.
Well, that one was a little bit different because that's like people talking about like sexual abuse, but this is Warren Ellis. It sounds like he was just being a creep, right?
Yeah.
I don't know the details. I'm asking. I mean, at this point, if
which
it's a person
Warren Ellis one or the Army Hammer one?
No, the Warren Ellis one, because the Army Hammer one is just stupid to me. Because like him, obviously that guy's a piece of shit.
I think we're still waiting. I think the jury's still out on that.
On Army Hammer?
Yeah, for that kind of. I think it's still like somewhat unverified.
No,
like it's still kind of like he said, she said at this point, isn't it?
The woman who announced it released all the text messages that happened between them.
I didn't see this.
Okay. Yeah, and then posted pictures of like what he had done to her and him being a fucking asshole. He put a belt around her neck, and didn't like ask for consent.
Yeah, I heard
shit
about
like
most of the claims. I just hadn't seen any of the, texts or anything like that.
Yeah, that's shitty then. Yeah.
Which
Warren Ellis, I think, is still a little more vague at this point, like whether he did act unprofessionally or if he just sort of acted unprofessionally, or if he did actually do inappropriate things.
Like
I think it's definitely unprofessional to,
But I'm saying whether there was that extra level there.
Yeah. We'll try and lead people on, like, I'm going to help you out. I'm going to help you out. Let's go fool around. And if you don't fool around with me, then I'm going to just cut you cold turkey.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. I think that sounds to me like the valid point of that. Like canceling him.
He's got some method that he's found that works, and he used that on a lot of people.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate because, I mean, that's the only way that guy's ever going to get laid. I'm sorry. Have you seen him?
I have not.
Yeah. You'll see.
He looks like Frank Miller put on a lot of weight.
He's
got the same hat.
That's it looks more like he's trying to be like Nathaniel Rateliff in the Night Sweats.
He's got the same hat and facial hair.
Hard rocker.
That is Frank Miller with weight.
That is okay.
I'm not joking. That is Frank Miller with weight. Anyway, grifter. They managed to escape from the. They managed to escape from the paddy wagon and go on the run, and end up going and find Huntress. Yeah, buddy cop. It's a really fun issue. There's a lot of like banter there, like where Grifter's being banterous, but then Luke is just like the straight man. It's an entertaining read, and yeah, I'm excited to see Warren Ellis's story in the Urban Legends book now, because he's writing a grifter story.
Mm-hmm.
Not who did I said Warren Ellis, didn't I? I mean Matthew Rosenberg.
Matt Rosenberg, honestly, I need to give more of his stories a chance. I've read.
I really need to read his Hawkeye stuff.
Everyone talks about his Hawkeye stuff. Everybody loves that.
It's got Otto Schmidt on art as well, who's great. So I really want to read it because of, that's a selling point in its own. But then I've heard it's also got a good story.
Sure. The interviews that he sits down with Ryan Stegman for on Ryan Stegman's podcast is interesting because he reveals quite a bit of his favorite art or writers and his favorite methods and some of his personal history. But the more I hear about him, the more I like him as a person and more as a writer. I'm excited to see what story he writes in the Urban Legends Batman story. That is coming out. Matt Rosenberg for the Batman Urban Legends.
Yeah, that's a grifter story.
Right, and then Chip Zdarsky is doing a Red Hood story, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Fun fact, Matt Rosenberg has done a signing at my shop years ago before he was famous.
Man, this shop that you go to just is blowing up, apparently.
Well, no, it was blowing up, and then it sort of peaked 10, 15 years ago.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
It had Ram V and Immortal Hulk, Al Ewing, do a signing for the last couple of years.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. What do we want to talk about next?
I'll just quickly run through Kara Zor-El, Superwoman. Really, really nice art. Story's a bit mediocre, but it is what it is. Superman.
I like Marguerite Bennett.
Yeah. The art was really pretty, though. Had a really nice aesthetic.
Okay.
Superman Wonder Woman by Dan Waters. Possibly the most forgettable story I've ever read.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I enjoyed it, but
I got one for you.
It got to Friday and I was like, oh shit, I still need to read that. And then I opened it and I was like, I recognize this first page. And then I was like, I must have started it and then just sort of stopped. And no, I read the whole thing, completely forgot about it, read it again. And I still couldn't really tell you what it was about. The characters were well written. It had some fun ideas. We've got a sentient son who I think is from Morrison's run on something.
It's always Morrison's run.
Yeah, whether it was
not somebody's son.
DC 1 million Morrison. Oh yeah, sorry, the son, a sentient son.
Okay. Like Saul?
Saul, yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Saul.
But you also have a some sort of South American sun god go up to try and fight him.
There are South American gods?
Yeah. Not that you'd know from reading Wonder Woman last week.
Yeah. They could have tied that in with the Wonder Woman 84 because, they talk about one of the Peruvian gods.
Yeah, they could have done Wonder Woman 84 a lot better in many regards.
But I digress.
Yeah. Robin Eternal by Megan Fitzmartin and Eddie Barrows was really entertaining, really good. It was nice to have a Tim Drake story again. It brings in one of the characters from We Are Robin, which I didn't read, but if you're a fan of that book, which I heard it got some good buzz.
This isn't the Damian Wayne.
This
Robin.
is Tim Drake.
Okay. What was the one where you guys showed the new Robin outfit?
That's the new Josh Williamson run coming in April.
Okay. I think it's kind of weird they didn't age Damian Wayne up.
Did they not?
No, he's a year older now.
Okay.
They aged him up in Rebirth, so he was officially a teen to join the Teen Titans.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah, this was fun. It was nice to read a Tim Drake story again. He's written in character in this. There's some good banter with him and Stephanie. It ends with him being killed, and he sort of falls in. Yeah, the last will and testament of Dan DiDio. No, the bad guys of the story are basically Lazarus Pit. They've infused Lazarus Pit and Venom into one, and these soldiers super strength from it. And he basically gets killed, but he sort of falls into the liquid, and he comes back in the end, strong and sort of a little crazy. But yeah, it was a really fun story. And Teen Titans, which has been getting some controversy online because it killed off a load of characters.
Who'd it kill?
Who's dead? We have a nice little picture of a grave here. Donna
Who's
Troy's
not?
dead. Wally and Wallace West are both dead, and some other characters' names I don't remember.
What?
But this ties into the Flash future state story where we had the Horsemen of the Apocalypse famine take over Wally West's body and that.
Mhm.
And in this, it establishes that they are fighting the other Horsemen.
So had we seen that, whatever the name of the Flash is in Justice League, had we seen that Flash before?
Nope, that was entirely new.
Okay.
Right.
But yeah, this is like the darkest timeline. Like lots of the Titans have been wiped out. Cyborg and Beast Boy have merged, I want to say.
Oh, I think I saw a picture of that.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are getting salty about this because of it killing characters off, and yeah, same. It's definitely better than the Flash one, which I did say a lot of people were salty about that, but it didn't deserve all the backlash. But this is definitely a lot better. I think the characters are well written in this. We have Red X be introduced, and he is someone who, he was a member of the Titans in the past. And
Is he a joke character?
No, he was based on the show.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know, but was he like a joke character in that?
No.
Okay. It's been a long time.
he is protecting someone who accidentally kills Billy Batson and Donna Troy. So because of that, he sort of gets locked up in the Titans Tower basement.
Okay.
But yeah, it's definitely a dark story, but I think... Oh no, he doesn't kill Billy Batson. Billy Batson's alive. I don't know who he kills. Oh, I'll tell you who it
Kills
is.
everybody.
It's Miguel from Dial H for Hero, the Bendis one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely a darkest timeline kind of story, but it's well written. The characters are well written. And I'd recommend it.
So we want to do Origins
Okay.
next.
Yeah, let's talk Origins. Let me just call the creative team up on that.
Clay McLeod Chapman and Jacob Rebelka.
Thank you.
Created by some other folks.
Yeah, that was weird. It's created by other folks, but written by... Yeah, I don't
It was
really
their
understand.
idea, and then the script is made by, and the art is made by.
Yeah, but it's just
Interesting.
weird with comics when it's not a pre-existing property.
Yeah. So it doesn't have their names on the front. It has Chapman, Rebelka, and Delpeche.
Yeah.
Script, art, colors.
Okay, so this is basically... It's post-apocalyptic where some sentient computer virus has kind of wiped out humanity and overtaken it.
Yeah, merged with nature, taking over
Yeah.
that.
So it's a really sort of beautiful, poetic story. It reminds me a little of Last of Us,
Okay.
where you...
Origins?
Yeah.
So this is issue 3. We get a little more, almost, everybody's a robot or some robot-like thing except for this one guy. And so we get flashbacks to his past as,
Yeah,
he was preteen.
He was the creator of the virus that overtook the world. And this is now a clone of him.
Yeah.
He's been raised by a droid he made.
Yeah. She was commanded by the original him to, raise his clone and then give him his memories back when he's old enough.
Yeah.
So we're seeing, before that, he's just some kid in the same body as the guy that created her. So as a preteen, he's figuring out that, he's not like everyone else. He hurts, he bleeds, he has to eat.
Yeah. And I think it's a really sort of interesting story, different take on it, but the issues have been a little... what's the word I'm looking for? There hasn't been it's been a lot of sort of... I don't know. It's telling it interestingly where it's not sort of overloading with information. There's still a lot of questions left to be answered. And we're still learning a lot going on.
Yeah.
I mean, this just doesn't seem... I mean, what about this do you think is the thing that makes this stand out? What's making you stick with this right now?
The art is really good. They're on some journey, so we want to see where that goes. And it's kind of... I don't know if I want to say it's kind of backwards, where normally it's, a bunch of, humans and one robot or something like that, but now it's a bunch of robots and one human.
Yeah, issue 3, they the main character is injured, so they sort of lead him to this robot city, And this reminds me a bit of Fallout, because this is the kind of thing you would see in a Fallout game where you have a town full of robots.
Yep, junk town kind of thing.
Yeah, but these are
it's just a bunch.
Yeah, they're all like service droids who would have been serving humans, and for the last like millennia, like century, I don't know how long it's been. Yeah, they have just been waiting for someone to serve.
Yeah, haven't seen a human being for centuries, and now they're like, "Ooh, here's somebody we can help."
Yeah, so they are a bit obsessive.
Around.
Yeah, they're all like gathering around, worshipping him.
Mm-hmm. And then he, in return, services the droids, fixes them up, makes them, work again. You see him going around to all different people working on the circuitry.
I don't know. I feel like I wanted to give this book a shot, but I read a little bit of the first issue and then I was like, this just doesn't really seem that appealing to me.
It does pick up. Issue 1's kind of a bit weird where it doesn't really give you any answer to any questions.
It's a lot of exposition.
Yeah.
If you don't catch me within the first issue, that's hard for me to get into.
I get that.
I
felt the same about issue 1.
It's kind of watercolors.
Yeah, it's very stylized. I'd say it's a little
cleaner than watercolors.
Yeah, and I'd say it's a little grotesque in places where it does like some shadows and some like some of the shapes of faces a little bit.
Yeah, we get a face of an android whose outer skin is basically decayed, so you see kind of like a Terminator.
Yeah,
it gets really busy once they get into this junk town because there's all sorts of detail, all sorts of droids, and it just gets really busy.
All right.
I still like it. I really like the art, and the storytelling is interesting. It's only 6 issues, so I'm hoping it will sort of wrap it all up, and as a whole package, it will be a good, compelling story.
Mm-hmm.
But I do get your complaints with issue 1. It was a little ambiguous and not.
I'm just saying that if you're going to do something like that, like, I'm not saying that it needs to be the best written thing in the world, but I definitely think that if you're going to try to get somebody into this.
Yeah. At this point, it's, you read issue 1 and you like it or you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that you guys are into it, though.
Issue 1 was the weakest issue.
Okay. That's kind of sad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of books that were kind of slow at first, I'm actually really into The Amazing Spider-Man right now.
I don't think slow at first begins to describe that run. If a run doesn't pick up until issue 50, it's not slow at first.
So the criticism that I had was that it took 50 issues for them to clarify what this whole Kindred's like muckabout was going on. But now I'm seeing that there is a big plan going on here. It feels like it was meant to be like, oh, you could do an entire story just about Kindred, or we can do a Spider-Man comic that has Spider-Man things going on that leads up to this. And then you really think that it's one thing, but it's not. So far, there's been a lot of hints about overarching plans for what's been going on. Mary Jane, it seems like it's hinted that she knows, or that she was the actual one who's made the deal with the devil to make a brand new day. And that Harry Osborn is also keenly aware, and that there's like a conspiracy or a plot or something. So there's a lot of hints about what's going on in the backdrop. And this could have gone one way and just been a really boring storyline. I'm still kind of on the fence about it. I would say it's about a solid B right now, but I'm interested to see where this is still going. I'm kind of confused why they have Mark Bagley doing the artwork right now. I love Mark Bagley. I love his artwork. I'm still confused about why he's on it, though. It doesn't seem like they're letting Pat Gleason and the other assigned artists on the team do their job. And Bagley has written or drawn so many issues of Spider-Man at this point. I just feel like
it is strange how little work Pat Gleason's done since moving to Marvel.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if they're just giving him some time to do this. This is the issue with having a comic that comes out twice weekly or twice monthly. You are pressuring time for the creative teams.
Whether they're getting him to work on, like they did with Ryan Stegman, where they sort of took him off the main Venom book and gave him King in Black to do.
But at least that choice made sense, right?
Yeah, but whether like they might be leading up to something and they've got Gleason doing the art, like a big Spider-Man story where they undo A Brand New Day or One More Day, whatever it's called.
Yeah. I don't know what to feel about the ending of this. So at the ending of it, Norman Osborn has had his psychosis removed because of Shotgun Boy, whose name escapes me at the moment.
You can cure psychosis with a shotgun?
There's a guy from the original Spider-Man run in issues like in the late 300s or late 200s issues. He wears a green mask. He wears a purple shirt. He's got a shotgun. Sin Eater, thank you.
Okay.
When he shoots everybody, he takes their powers and removes their psychosis. He did so to Norman Osborn. And now Norman Osborn's being apologetic and trying to like save his son because he is kindred and for some reason something's going on. But because Kindred killed Peter Parker like 50 times repeatedly and then brought him back to life, killed him, brought him back to life, killed him, brought him back to life, it's left Peter kind of scarred, and it's affecting his relationship with Mary Jane, and it's affecting how he's interacting. He beat the shit out of Norman almost to death, and that's really characteristic of him. But it makes sense in parallel to him having been killed so many times. There's also a strain on his relationship with all of the other spiders. I'm happy to see that all of the Spider family is on the book right now because I like that. I like when that happens inside of my comics. I guess I'm just wondering where this is leading up to because I'm still captivated. I'm interested. I'm going to keep buying it, but I'm just interested. I want to know what the plan is at this point. I want to have some sort of an idea of what I'm reading at this point. This doesn't feel like it's going to end flat. So I feel like there's a plan here, and I'm going to give them trust that this is going to resolve in the way that I think that will end in a way that's tasteful. If you haven't read it yet, it's 57 issues in. So, I mean, if you want to read the first 10 issues and then jump straight ahead, you're probably going to be fine.
Yeah, because I read the first arc and a half, maybe. Back to Basics, which is the first one, and then I think I read the second one as well.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of implications about what's going on with Mary Jane coming back and being in a relationship with Peter again. There's a lot of implications about why these things are all like crazy up in the air about like what's been going on with the original Amazing Spider-Man plotline and all of the references to Brand New Day. It's just interesting. I don't know what it's going to lead up to. I don't know, but it seems very meta right now. And Nick Spencer actually is a good writer. I just think that when a lot of the work he's done at Marvel has been kind of I really enjoyed The Fix from what I've read so far, but I don't know. I'm going to say give it a chance if you can. I went on a big rant there. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Josh, tell us about Kick-Ass.
Issue 3 of 6 or so. I don't know. But so this is written by Steve Niles. Artist is Marcelo Frusin. We got a cover by John Romita Jr., which is pretty cool. I mean, he was the original artist for Kick-Ass with Mark Millar. So at the end of issue 2, we finally get the face-off between Kick-Ass and Hit Girl, and it lasts 4 pages. Kick-Ass knocks out Hit Girl, takes her outside of the warehouse they're fighting in, and then their fight gets interrupted and they break apart and go away. And then it just becomes an issue of Kick-Ass. We jump right back into the Kick-Ass storyline. This is a new Kick-Ass, Patience, Black war veteran from, this is in New Mexico, I think. I think they're in like Albuquerque. So it just jumps right back into her storyline. Like Hit Girl doesn't even exist. So this is basically just, Kick-Ass with a surprise appearance by Hit Girl, and that's about it. Obviously, some other gangs that they're fighting with are coming in here, and they're both going to target Kick-Ass and Hit Girl. So they're going to team up at some point. We got 4 pages of them fighting each other, and that's probably about it for a series titled Kick-Ass vs. Hit Girl. I read this in 5 minutes, if that, real quick.
I'm avoiding a lot of the Mark Miller universe stuff right now. I really enjoyed Space Bandits, and I think that's the latest I've enjoyed so far from him.
I haven't really done many Mark Millar stuff. I think the last one was Huck. Was it maybe the last one? I got American Jesus.
Yeah, I've read Huck.
Or MPH
I'm kind of over
or
it at
Starlight.
This point, honestly.
I'm not. Yeah.
It's
the same kind of formula. He writes these. He's pitching a film.
He churns out so much work at the minute. It's
I just wish some of the Hit Girl comics were good. They did like little 4-issue mini runs for Hit Girl. So there's like 6 different volumes, and they got different writers for each of them.
He can write well. It's
one.
just Kevin Smith's done some work on Hit Girl, definitely.
I think he did Hit Girl in Hollywood. Yeah. So they let Jeff Lemire did Hit Girl in Canada.
Yeah,
so,
he can
lets different people play with it now. It's his giant imprint, Millar World property. He does most of this on Image, but he just lets other people play in there and rakes in the cash.
Look, don't get me wrong. I love the fact that he has done the properties the way that he has, because every artist that he's worked on with all of his stuff that he's created, they're all co-creators, and they're all sharing the profits that he's raking in from Netflix on that.
That's really good.
Yeah, I think Magic Order was the first one I didn't collect. I didn't do Magic Order, Prodigy, or Space Bandits.
Sean, you were about to comment on his writing style.
Yeah, I think he is a writer who can do good stuff. We've seen him do good work in the past, but at this point, he's just churning out intellectual properties to sell to Netflix.
He's very busy. He's a busy guy. So they have the Millar collection.
Look at that. Look how many titles there are.
Yeah. They're padding it with a bunch of Marvel and one Superman series. I'm trying to remember.
He did do a
Red
Superman
Sun.
series. I do remember that.
Yep.
Red Sun.
I don't know, man.
Had that a little bit. He's done a lot of Marvel stuff. We wouldn't have, the Civil War without him.
No. Don't get me wrong. Civil War is one of my favorite events that Marvel has ever put out, but
he does a lot of the Ultimate X-Men, Ultimate Avengers.
That wasn't my thing. Did not like it.
Ultimate Fantastic Four.
He's a look. The guy has had a lot of history. I know for a fact that people are big into him. I like what Donny Cates has said about writing comic books. The goal shouldn't be to write something that you turn into a show or a movie. The goal should be make a comic, and I agree with that.
Yeah, I think Millar is more like a screenwriter that decided to do comics instead. It seems
which is weird because he clearly enjoys comics.
Yeah, I really like Steve Niles. He's a good writer, but maybe he's better on things that he has more control over versus working on somebody else's property. I like the Frankenstein series he did in Frankenstein Alive. That was really good. He did that with Bernie Wrightson.
I love Bernie Wrightson.
Yeah, that was a really good series. But so he does Jupiter's Legacy, Jupiter's Circle with Frank Quietly. And I'm excited to see the TV series whenever that comes. I thought we would have had it by now.
Okay. Anything else you wanted to add to this?
To this episode or the Kick-Ass talk?
The Kick-Ass talk.
Okay.
No. We could talk about what's coming next week.
Yeah, I've just got one more comic to quickly mention. Seven Secrets, #6 by Tom Taylor and Danielle Di Niccolo. So this is the final issue in the arc, and it's really good. We get a few character deaths in this, and it really sets up a new status quo moving forward. And it'll be, Tom Taylor firing on all cylinders. He's already made me care about these characters. Yeah, but he's killing it on the book. Like, he's made me care about these characters in 6 issues, so when they die, I felt it. He killed a character in issue 1 that I felt bad for. Like, I really felt for the character.
That's something that's really hard to do these days, especially when you've got so much pumping out these days. Like if you don't captivate the audience with a character's death, then you're failing as a writer.
Yeah, I'm just going to see how far into issue 1 it was that he killed this character, because I have a feeling it was like just a few pages in. Issue 1 has a lot of flashbacks. Yeah, I feel it was an elevator music. Okay, yeah. So the character dies at the end of issue 1, and it made me feel sad.
Wait, stop.
Hammer time.
Say it again.
What?
Say it again.
Yeah. So the character died at the end of issue 1, but I felt sad for it. He created the character fully formed 3D in less than 20 pages. So when he died, I felt bad.
Nice.
And that's something Tom Taylor really excels at, is making you care about the characters.
I'm going to power read this when I can.
It's only 6 issues, so I wouldn't say it was a real power read.
Ooh.
Was this 7 Secrets?
Yes.
We were just talking about that the other day, weren't we?
Yeah. There was an ad for issue 1 in Origins.
Yeah, there's an ad for issue 1 on sale August 12th. I'm like, okay, got a few months, but sure. But it was August of 2020. Yeah. It's kind of weird. Volume 1's already out.
It's a really good book. It's doing some interesting stuff. And yeah, there's some really good characters in it.
All right. Well, with that, I mean, it looks like there's nothing else for us to chat about for some of the books this week. So I guess we can end it here. Shall we share our picks of the week?
Well, we already know what yours is going to be. Green Lantern #1.
You fuck right off.
You knew what I was going to say.
I'm actually going to pick Amazing Spider-Man again, mostly because I'm intrigued about what's going to happen next. And I feel like for a good while there, I was not really interested in what was going on. But this has been saving it for me, this last Remain story arc.
Yeah, cool.
And you?
I'm going to go with... Ooh, which one do I go for? I'm going to go Future State Justice League.
Oh, good.
Cool.
It's between that and Darkseid. I'm going to go Justice League because I think the Justice League Dark story at the end as well was really superb. And
cool.
Yeah. The Josh Williamson story was great, but the Ram V one was the next level.
Okay. I'm going to go with Haha. I skipped out on doing Ice Cream Man. So this is pretty good stuff. It's a nice, neat little self-contained story. They did a lot of interesting stuff with the art.
Yeah.
Story was all right.
All right.
Cool.
Excellent. Well, on that note, we can say adieu, goodbye, so long, farewell, and you can always find us on the multiple different podcast sites. You can find us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. Give us a like, give us a share. You can find me on Twitter. It's going to be at TCH Brown.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at SeanMore747.
You can find me on the subreddit whenever we create one.
Because that's all you are. You're just the mystery man. You're that guy.
Yeah, well, we got to come up with a name.
Of what?
For the podcast.
We're the Cult of Comics, bro.
All right.
That's the choice.
I joined a cult.
You have joined the cults.
Join us.
Welcome. All hail.
Hail Hydra?
Hail Hydra. Well, thanks for tuning in for the first episode, guys. Maybe we'll continue this on YouTube with the episode of WandaVision. And thanks for listening. All hail.
Bye.
Stay classy, San Diego.